Just figured now. Okay, good. Yeah, okay.
Can you hear me? Do I sound beautiful and luscious? Bleh.
Hello and welcome to Budweiser Gardens for this NBL of Canada regular season game between the expansion Niagara River Lions and the hometown London Lightning. My name is Marty Thompson, and as always, I'm joined by Chris Croucher. Chris, it's a new coach and a completely new roster for the Lightning for this fifth season.
It sure is, Marty. And I got to say, it's kind of interesting the fact that London, as far as I can think of, is the first team that we've seen that has completely overhauled their roster. There's not a single returning player. The closest thing they have to that is Garrett Williamson, who previously played for the Lightning 2 years ago. But as far as last year's team goes, no one's back. The closest that came to that would be Ed Horton, who was in camp, but unfortunately was unable to make the team. And it's a new, system of ideals here in London, too, in terms of the work ethic, the integrity, what they want from their players, what they expect from their players. They've got new coach Kyle Julius, who's going to be looking to bring in a blue-collar mentality with the squad. There were games they felt they could have won. They weren't mentally tough enough. Kyle Julius isn't going to let that be a problem. This is a coach who really, really pushes his players and demands the best from them.
Absolutely, and speaking of Kyle Julius, his first regular season game as the coach of the London Lightning, coming into this Lightning organization from the Mississauga Power, who obviously didn't have the best season last year.
Well, simply put, I think anyone who watched a Mississauga Power game understood that that record, while it is his record, isn't entirely on him. He did a lot of plays where he'd draw them up, the shot would be open, and the ball just wouldn't go in. And from a talent standpoint, it's hard to look at Mississauga and say that they were on the same footing as other teams in the league. There was a lot of turnover with the Power, and it was really hard to put out the same lineup every single night. But I think what Julius proved in terms of his play calling, in terms of the way he handled that difficult season, is that he treated it like a learning experience. And we saw a team by the end of the year who was way more competitive. And that comes from Julius, too. At the start of the year, he had a tendency to lose his cool, would be screaming at refs and that. And by the end of the year, he had really grown as a coach. And he wasn't screaming, he wasn't shouting, he certainly wasn't tense and fiery. That was definitely not gone. But he learned to rein it in to a point where it became way more beneficial for the team and really pushed them in the right direction. And we saw the Power really give it to the Windsor Express in that first-round playoff series. No one expected that to be a close one at all, but the Power went out there, played some really good basketball, stole a win, had Toot Roush set the NBL playoff record for points in a game with 48. And we just saw a lot more out of Mississauga than I think anyone could have expected. And a lot of that credit has to go to Julius.
And of course, there's a number of former Mississauga Power players on this London Lightning roster. You've got Warren Ward, obviously Jordan Widener. Lots of Mississauga talent on this London squad.
Well, two of them are going to play huge roles because they're both Canadian players too. The first guy I want to talk about is Chad Postumus, who at 6'11", 270 is certainly one of the bigger players the London Lightning have ever had. An absolutely excellent guy in the front court. He can bully players. He can bully teams. He's just very difficult to handle in the post. And he's got a little bit of touch too. And we've seen him show a little more quickness than we'd expect from a guy. One of the other guys, of course, who came from Mississauga that figures to play a big role is Warren Ward, who's also a Canadian. He actually averaged 19 points per game when he was here. However, he had an Achilles injury that took him out, so he only ended up playing 9 games. But now he comes into this season. He gets a shot. He's probably going to be a starter with this team, I would think, at the 2 spot beside Williamson. And he's a guy who I think brings some veteran leadership, brings an ability to score, and they're going to rely on him for his 3-point shot, too, in order to space the floor for their other players.
Now on to the Niagara River Lions, their first game as a franchise. Very exciting for all the Niagara fans watching. We know there's quite a number of you on YouTube here tonight. Let's talk a bit about the River Lions. Head coach Ken Murray, obviously a Brock legend, massive in the Niagara basketball scene. And there's also some familiar names on this Niagara River Lions roster, including Clinton Springer-Williams.
Well, Clinton Springer-Williams we saw here in London last season. He's also familiar with Ken Murray. He spent his freshman year at Brock and averaged 20 points a game there. He was a guy who in London kind of got lost in the mix because there was a lot of different wing players, so there was really hard to find a spot in the lineup for him. But when he did play, he had flashes of a lot of talent. It'll be interesting to see what kind of a role he plays with the River Lions. Maybe he gets an expanded role. Maybe he can do a little bit more with that. He won 2 national championships in the CIS, as he went to Carleton right after Brock and won 2 there, and that's a perennial powerhouse. So he's got the pedigree. It's just a matter of putting it out on the court this year.
Absolutely massive for the league on this opening day of the 2015-16 season. We'll try to keep you updated on the games taking place in Moncton and Halifax. Well underway, 49-38. Halifax with the lead there just through the second quarter. Meantime, the new Orangeville A's will be taking on Windsor. That tip-off is about 15 minutes away. A massive crowd here at Budweiser Gardens for this home opener for the 2015-16 season. Again, Marty and Chris up in the booth here with you for tonight. The expansion Niagara River Lions come to down.
Staying healthy. He has pedigree coming from the University of Virginia, which is a great basketball school, and he's played overseas a bit too. He averaged 10 points and 7 assists, and he's a guy who can be a real floor general for your team. He's a guy that can really push the pace, get a team going, make sure they run the plays correctly, and he's going to be unselfish, and that's huge from the point guard position. It's really hard to find a true distributor at that position. Another guy, Mike Allison, he's actually one that Kyle Julius is familiar with. Allison spent last season with the Mississauga Power, of course. He averaged 6 points, 5 assists, but he wasn't really there for his scoring. He's a very good defensive player, and he was able to really play some defense on a Mississauga Power team that didn't really seem interested in playing defense much last year. As we see a tip-off here between Garrett Williamson, I believe that was Logan Stutz.
Yes, I believe so as well.
And they're going to have their ceremonial tip-off here.
Of course, the game tonight sponsored by Canadian Tire here locally in London. So again, London versus Niagara coming up. We're just on the verge of hearing the starting lineups for the Niagara River Lions. We'll cut to that, and we'll be right back. As follows: Clinton Springer Williams, Sammy Zidlinski, Adam Blazik, Logan Stutz, and Daquan Cook.
It's a small lineup there, and it's pretty interesting for that fact because we know London's going to be a bigger team. They decided to go with almost 2 point guards there with Ziglinski and Blazek. That's 2 Ziglinski mess-ups there. We're having a great start to the year.
I remember specifically last year nailing down his pronunciation because I knew I'd mess it up.
Well, I'm pretty sure his name is like my practice tongue twister there. But we see the 2 6'1" guards. They go for a smaller lineup. And looking at the roster that London's going to put out, that puts them at immediate disadvantage on the defensive end because now one of these 6'1" guys is going to have to defend. And this is going off of preseason. We don't know the starting lineup for sure yet. But if it's going to be Warren Ward playing the 2 spot, that gives you an instant mismatch if you're the Lightning. However, Ward is coming off an Achilles injury. So maybe we'll see some speed off of the 2 guards, and maybe they want to make Ward feel really uncomfortable, basically, coming back, and really challenge him that way. As far as the starters go, the one that also interests me is Cook out of St. Bonaventure, St. Bonnie's. Great basketball school as well, but at 6'8", he's going to have to play the 5 spot against what looks like an absolute beast in Chad Postumus at 6'11", 270. So Cook is going to have his work cut out for him. Some interesting matchups to start the night.
And it's very interesting when you look at this this Niagara River Lions squad and how big they are in the front court. 2 6'10s, 2 6'9s, and just one of those 4 players in the starting lineup. But I mean, you're looking at Dylan Edgar, Russ Conley, Mike Allison, as we mentioned before, and Logan Stutz coming in above 6'9". And that kind of size really hasn't been around the league until recently. and it's going to be interesting to see how they work moving forward.
Well, there's certainly a quantity of size, too, in Niagara, and the one I'm most interested in seeing here is Logan. He's a 6'9" forward. Very little known about him out of Washburn, but at 6'9", he's going to match up with Cook to provide some size. And now London, we talked about size being in London's favor in the backcourt, but in the front court, sure, they might have problems with Posthumus, but Kevin Loisel's only 6'6" at the power forward spot. So now you've got that advantage. Maybe that's a matchup that they're trying to look to, feed the ball to Stutz against the smaller Loisel.
And the one interesting thing, if you're Kyle Julius, is that the Niagara River Lions haven't played a proper preseason game, a well-documented preseason game. So there were a lot of question marks about this squad coming into the game, similar to the Orangeville A's, who are taking on Windsor tonight. Again, another team that didn't necessarily have a preseason game, especially against NBLC opposition. We're just about to get the starting lineup for the London Lightning here at Budweiser Gardens. Again, Marty Thompson and Chris Croucher up in the booth. The Niagara River Lions' first ever game, London's first game here at home in the 5th season of their franchise and the National Basketball League of Canada. Again, all new names on this London Lightning roster, save for Garrett Williamson returning to the team after a year away. Budweiser Gardens, it's getting loud. We're going to tune in for the starting lineups for the London Lightning.
Chad Posthumus as much as I can. He has that size advantage we talked about. And based on its preseason game, he's ready to dominate. Played 3 games with the Mississauga Power last year. Put up some monster numbers. Averaged 24 and 15 in those 3 games. Then, of course, he got an offer that he couldn't say no to overseas.
Of course, this is the same starting lineup that Kyle Julius fielded in their 97 to 87 win over Windsor here at home a week ago. So again, Kyle Julius sticking to the same lineup here at Budweiser Gardens. Year number 5, just about underway for the London Lightning, the 2-time NBLC champs, taking on the brand new Niagara River Dogs. Apologies. River Lions, I should say. Keep messing that up. Big night for the league, big night for Niagara, but also a massive night for the London Lightning. Again, a brand new squad and lots of potential in this team, lots of NBLC experience and lots of young guys as well.
One player to keep an eye out right now on is Jeremy Wise, the point guard for the London Lightning. When he was with the Bakersfield Jam of the D-League for 4 years, he averaged 14 points, 7 assists. London doesn't really have a distributor after him, so he's going to have to play a lot of minutes at the point guard spot. We've seen that Niagara is going to have 2 guards zipping around. Is fatigue going to be a factor for Wise? Because he's going to have to do a lot of chasing tonight on the defensive end.
Chad Posthumus versus DeQuan Cook here at the tip-off. Year 5 underway here for the London Lightning. Year 1 underway for Niagara. It's Zaglinski getting things started here for the River Lions. Off to Clinton Springer-Williams. Again, the London native. Moves around Stutz, still has possession. 12 seconds on the shot clock, 11:40 on the game clock. If you're just joining us, we're just underway. Here's Cook. By Zaglinski, and Niagara quick to move down the court. Bounce pass underneath, and that's going to be the first 2 points of River Lions history that's coming from Stutz.
Possibly one more being added. That was a very nice pass there to find Stutz, who was just in the right spot. He didn't get himself too deep where he wasn't going to be able to make a play on the ball if it came to him. He stood right under the backboard, but not too far. It was very good awareness from him to be able to get there.
Stutz gets the shot off, so make it 3-0. River Lions have the lead here over the London Lightning. Jeremy Wise with possession. Off to Ward. To Lozelle. Now back to Ward in the near side here. There's Garrett Williamson. Former Canadian of the Year. Tosses it back to Posthumus, and it's good for 2.
That's range we hadn't seen from Chad Posthumus until literally that shot. If he can add a mid-range game to him, that's a very frightening player. Niagara's really going to have to lock down on Posthumus. We've seen him dominate in the past.
Blazic into the corner. Bounce pass to Stutz underneath. Gorgeous play from the River Lions.
I think we found Stutz's favorite place to be on the court. Almost identical. He gets himself just under the backboard, open for the pass. And again, another easy 2 points.
Wise with possession here. 10:23 on the clock here in the first quarter. River Lions with the lead. Posthumus up against Stutz. Tosses it up. And it's no good, collected by Stutz on the defensive rebound.
Stutz really impressing me here. Of course, he's got the 5 points already, but that was very, very tough defense against a very, very large man. Able to give Posthumus fits and sort of throw up an ill-advised shot, too.
Into the corner, there's Stutz again from distance, and he's got it. Wow.
So eventually, someone other than Stutz is going to score a point for the Niagara River Lions.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
That's one heck of a start, not only to the River Lions NBL careers, but to Logan Stutz as well.
Inbound coming up. Fresh shot clock by the looks of it. Again, 9:43 on the game clock. If you're just joining us here, Marty Thompson, Chris Crouch up in the booth. London in white, Niagara in blue. Kevin LaSalle charges, and it's no good.
And that was Stutz who drew the charge, too. They're going to call an offensive foul on LaSalle for that one. But basically, Logan Stutz doing a little bit of everything for the Niagara River Lions. This is a heck of a debut.
Zedlinski with it. Jeremy Wise tracking. 9.5 on the game clock here in the first quarter. Blazic to Clinton Springer-Williams at the top. It's good for 3.
Springer-Williams immediately looked at the Lightning bench, too. I think he kind of wishes he was still in his hometown, but a good start for him with a big 3, and London really panicking right now. Ill-advised shot.
Jeremy Wise with that one now to Quan Cook. Takes it off of LaSalle, and that's going to be blown down.
That'll be a charge there. LaSalle does a good job of getting himself into position.
9:06 on the clock. Again, 11-2, River Lions off to a good start here at Budweiser Gardens. Kevin LaSalle getting set to inbound. Oh, my apologies, actually heading off. And it looks like Stephen Maxwell is taking his place, the 22-year-old. Tosses it off to Jeremy Wise, and London getting set on offense. 9 minutes on the clock. To Warren Ward for 3, a bit of space there. Can't drain it. Postmus on the rebound, he puts it back.
I think Niagara kind of assumed that was going in based on how open he was, because Postmus all alone for that rebound. We're going to see another offensive set here from the Niagara River Lions.
Fantastic play finished by Garrett Williamson. That was Jeremy Wise in the pass.
And again, Williamson, one of the most gifted players, as we see a steal by Maxwell. Wise going in.
Maxwell will finish.
Looked like we might have another alley-oop on our hands, but I guess not.
Unfortunate for the fans here at Budweiser Gardens. Can't get 2 alley-oops in 10 seconds. 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Springer-Williams, the Londoner, with it. Tosses it up. No good. Postmus on the rebound. 7:55. 11-8. River Lions with the lead. Postmus with a bit of space. Goes up against Stutz. Spins. No call. And it's no good.
A little bit of physical play as we see Stutz just outrun Postmus down the court. Might have had an opening there for Niagara. Oh.
Sammy Zaglinski.
Oh.
Unbelievable.
Zaglinski knew that he had a big on him, so he just decides to test out Maxwell's ankles. Looked a little creaky there.
Wise into Garrett Williamson, 14-8, 7:22 on the clock. Williamson, no good. And it's taken once again here by the River Lions, who get yet another stop. Stutz up against Posthumus, and it's too easy for the hot hand there.
Logan Stutz just having an incredible start right there. And you look at what Niagara's done. That's a vet coach who has some good set plays already in his playbook. Ken Murray, of course, has coached overseas. He coached at Brock. He actually retired and then decided to come back for the opportunity to coach this Niagara River Lions team. And again, you can't really say anything but good things about the start they've had. 14 points against a London Lightning team that, based on off-season reports, were going to be a little tighter defensively than in previous seasons. Feed passes to anyone. Doesn't even necessarily need to look. He's actually already got 3 assists.
He seems like he's got the shot, but he's also got that quickness that's essential for a big.
Well, he's quick, and he doesn't look necessarily, I don't want to say heavy, but he doesn't look like a guy who'd be able to hold his own in the post. But we've seen him defensively against a guy like Posthumus hold his own just fine. So if you can have someone with that kind of quickness who's not going to be a negative on the defensive end, that's very beneficial to your team. And they haven't even necessarily spaced the floor that much. We saw the Clinton Springer-Williams 3 and the Zaglinski 3, and those are certainly great. But Logan Stutz initially, it was just simply being aggressive, being in the right spot, getting open, and being able to finish.
Jeremy Wise moves the ball up past half here, 7:03 on the clock. Maxwell back to Wise. Cross court pass is good on that shot from Mr. Warren Ward.
And they're going to need a lot more threes. Warren Ward gets that one. One of the things the Lightning don't want is teams to really lock in on Posthumus, so it's important to have your three-point shooters going. That way you can space the floor a bit and get some room for him to operate down low.
Springer-Williams in the corner, it's good.
Springer-Williams making some Lightning fans miss him with another three-pointer. He's definitely been working on that. He wasn't necessarily a sharpshooter when he was with the London Lightning. Didn't shoot that many threes.
6 points to his name so far. To both, or all 6 rather, coming from beyond the arc. Here's another one. Sammy Zielinski misses it. Unfortunately, could not be collected by the River Lions. London ball.
Not sure what the pull-up three, like less than 5 seconds into the shot clock was about, but Ken Murray not exactly thrilled about that one.
6:12 on the game clock here. 19-11. Patterson comes in for London. He has possession. You see Maxwell coming across on the left side.
Tyshawn Patterson got some early buzz. 26 points in the Lightning's game against the D-League as we see him cut to the basket. Maxwell, he had the ball in his hands. He just has it slip up and land right in Springer-Williams. And then a little bit of a bump. If Maxwell just stands there straight up and down, that won't be a foul, but Springer-Williams gets him off his feet, gets to the line.
The bonus shot is good, so make it 22-13. The River Lions with the lead. 5:46 on the clock in the first quarter. Patterson off to Warren Ward for 3, and it's good.
Another big 3 from Warren Ward. Like I said, they need someone to space the floor. Posthumus is a guy who likes to operate down low. Williamson's a cutter. Tyshawn Patterson's a cutter. They're going to need someone to space the floor, and so far, Warren Ward's been that guy. Stutz, are you kidding me?
Stutz with another 2 points off the pass, make that 12 points to his name so far. 5:18 to go in the first.
All he does is get open, and Cal Julius has seen enough of this lacking interior defense. He's going to send Curtis Washington in shortly.
Posthumus from the top of the key. Make it 24-18. London trying to cut into this River Lions lead here early in their first game of the 2015-16 regular season. Stutz takes the pass from distance. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Zaglinski. He's going to take it around to Allison. Can't get it down. There's Warren Ward moving it up for the London Lightning. Bounce pass to Posthumus. Gorgeous finish. Just couldn't put it in.
Beautiful pass from Warren Ward. Really thread and needle there. Very unfortunate they couldn't get that. Oh, here we go.
Stutz with some space in the slam.
I don't know much about Logan Stutz, but from what I've seen, he's apparently the best basketball player in the NBL. Wow, what a start to this game for Logan Stutz.
14 points to his name now. An incredible debut. And I believe that Stutz was actually in London's camp over the summer. So we see Sutherland tossing it off, and that's Springer-Williams tossing that one down. So make it 28-18, 4 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Springer-Williams having himself a game, 9 points combined with Stutz. That's most of the scoring for Niagara right there.
Ward from the corner, it's no good, collected by Stutz on the defensive rebound, and he sees Zielinski calming things down. That
was a bit of a heat check from Warren Ward. He made a couple there. Takes a contested one. Might want to play closer to Springer-Williams here, though. We've seen Springer-Williams make some shots.
Another toss-up to Stutz, and good defensive play there from Maxwell. So Kevin LaSalle getting set to come in, and also looks like Curtis Washington is coming in as well for the London Lightning. And Jordan Widener also preparing to come in by the looks of it. So wholesale changes for Kyle Julius's London Lightning. They're down 28-18, 3:35 on the clock in the first. Quick play, that's Blazik, no good, and collected here from Kevin LaSalle. Oh, intercepted. There's Blazik with another opportunity and a fantastic finish to get the River Lions to 30 points.
Kevin LaSalle just out there scrimmaging a bit. That was not a good pass.
LaSalle up against Allison, and it's no good. Collected here from the River Lions. Blazik now lugging the ball up for Niagara. To Cook. Nearly finds Sutherland, but it's intercepted. Capers takes it back and slams on the alley-oop.
Capers, a super athletic wing for the London Lightning. He's so versatile that he actually played the 4 spot for the Mississauga Power for most of last year. Now with London, he gets a chance at his more natural 3 spot.
Daquan Cook takes the ball back. He's matching up against Curtis Washington, and that's 2 points for Niagara.
London just doesn't have an answer on the interior, and this game's getting away from him.
Ball's up, and it's good from distance.
Well, Tyshawn Patterson, he had 26 points in the London Lightning's game against the Raptors 905. He's going to be their microwave off the bench. They need him to heat up quick and to get some points for the Lightning.
32-23, 2:14 on the clock. Good defense there from Curtis Washington. Allison can't collect. It's a scrap at the top of the key, and the refs call for a jump ball.
Patterson had a very large man land on him there. He's going to get up a little slowly. That probably hurt. 2:08 on the clock as Niagara are getting set to make another 2 changes. Looks like Dylan Edgar's coming in, and Logan Stutz also coming in. So again, seeing a bit of size on the court here for the Niagara River Lions. We're looking at Cook at 6'8". And you've also got Logan Stutz sitting at 6'9", and now Dylan Edgar at 6'10". I think they're going to move Stutz to the 3 spot. I mean, with the speed he's shown at that size, why not?
Washington, 10 seconds on the shot clock. We'll take it back. Distance 2 is no good, collected there by Cook. So Blazik moves it up, and the refs blow things down. And that's going to be officials' timeout.
Not sure what that's about.
1:45 on the clock. Looks like the refs are having a chat with Murray on the far side.
I don't think anyone really knows what's happening here.
Regardless, inbound coming up here for the River Lions at half. 21 seconds on the shot clock right now. Blazik takes it. Stutz calls for it on the inside there. It's matched up against Capers. Stutz, the hot hand, can't get it to go. London with a crucial stop. Capers moves it across. Into the quarter. This is Jordan Widener. Kevin LaSalle for 3. No good. Curtis Washington with the rebound. He backs in. Gorgeous play from Curtis Washington.
Solid post moves from Curtis Washington. Just able to get under the defender's arm and make a nice little layup. He was one of the last cuts of the main Red Claws. He's definitely got some talent. He's long and athletic, and the Lightning are going to need him when Postumus is out.
Cook tosses it off. That's Marcus Lewis as the ball drops out of play. With Niagara getting set on the inbound. 9 seconds on the shot clock. 1:02 on the game clock here at Budweiser Gardens. Lewis getting set on the baseline. Again, the River Lions off to a great start here, 32-25. A minute left of this first quarter of their first ever NBLC game. Looks like the refs are pointing up to the net, or maybe the shot clock.
We can't see it from our angle because of where our booth is, but I believe the shot clock is off. Yeah, you can see it on the screen. I think the shot clock was indeed off, so they're going to check the connections, make sure that's accurate. One of the things I find interesting about what Ken Murray's been doing here is he's got Logan Stutz playing the 3. We've seen his quickness. And now he's going to have a size mismatch against whoever you put there, as Stutz at 6'9". It's going to be covered. It was initially Capers until the switch.
Distance shot from Blazek's no good as the shot clock expires. And it looks like there's going to be a foul call there.
I think Patterson just got dumped when he was going for that rebound.
So 51 seconds left in this first quarter. The River Lions with a 32-25 lead. Kevin Lassell getting set to inbound here. Of course, Kevin Lassell will have to get his championship ring from the Windsor Express at a later date. They'll be receiving their rings before their game against Orangeville. Looks like that game is just getting underway, or that pre-game ceremony rather is just getting underway. Congratulations to the Windsor Express. A couple fan favorites will be traveling in for that one as well to receive their rings. Kevin Lassell misses that one, and it's tipped out of play, and it looks like it'll be London's ball.
Kevin Lassell fired up about that one. Certainly during his time with the Express, known to be a fiery player, definitely earned the ire of London Lightning fans during that rivalry, including a couple of shouting matches with fans even. Lassell now, I want to say turncoat, that makes him sound like a bad guy, but he's switching sides in the rivalry, joining the London Lightning, and he's a guy they really needed. There were times last year where they seemed soft, and London Lightning need him again to put up a lot of points. They don't have a lot of natural scorers on the floor right now.
Blazek tosses it up as the shot clock expires. The River Lions off to a fantastic start in this first quarter. 34-27. Sorry to interrupt you, Chris, but
oh, go for it. That shot was incredible.
What a fantastic finish there from Blazek, and the River Lions off to a fantastic start.
Absolutely everything going their way. This is the debut that just about every team would ask for. We've seen Logan Stutz, one of their new additions, a guy we didn't really know much about, has 14 points and 3 assists in one quarter alone. And then Clinton Springer-Williams kind of sticking it to his former team. He has 11, including 2 for 2 from three-point land. Going over to the London Lightning, we see Tyshawn Patterson leading the way with 7 points. He's a guy who, of course, came off the bench to do that, and boy, did the Lightning need him. He also has 3 assists, which is odd because he's not known as a passing point guard. In fact, he only averaged 2 assists per game during his time in college. And now he's, again, one of the younger guys, 23 years old on the London Lightning, who really stepped up and helped this team when they needed it. The other leading scorer for the Lightning at 6 points is Chad Posthumus with 3 rebounds.
I know we talked a bit about it in the exhibition game, but Kyle Julius, we've made a couple comparisons to Michael Ray Richardson in just that intensity, and we know how much Richardson like to play defense and like to have a as perfect possible defense. And looking at Kyle Julius in that scrum right now, he's got lots to say to this London Lightning squad who have dropped the ball defensively so far. I mean, 34 points, obviously not a good start.
But if there was a coach that I'd want in the huddle, giving my players a kick in the rear, Kyle Julius is a guy who's going to do that figuratively. I hope he's not actually kicking them. You can't see it on the camera, but I will confirm he is not kicking the players. But he's the type of guy you want to make sure that your team's focused, and he's going to lock down this defense. And a guy like Chad Postum is also a fiery guy. We saw him not happy about coming off the floor. He's had a chance to relax, chill out a bit, and get himself back in the game. The London Lightning are going to rely on him a lot this year. A strong performance here tonight would really set the tone.
Second quarter just about to get underway. River Lions 30. .6 o'clock when London take them on at the Meridian Center, so definitely
quickness be the problem. Lysell can actually match that a bit.
Wise off to Garrett Williamson, who's back in this game. Takes Kicks it back to Wise. Posmuth down low. Going to throw it in the corner, and it's good for 3. That's Warren Ward.
Warren Ward, again, a veteran player. He averaged 19 points per game last season. Unfortunately, coming off an Achilles injury. Again, they need him to be shooting threes.
Niagara with possession, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Stutz in the corner, it's up, and it's no good. Collected there by LaSalle in the defensive rebound. 11 minutes to go in this second quarter. LaSalle takes it down, and it'll go down to the floor. Niagara with possession now. Springer Williams, as you mentioned, impressed in that first quarter, now into the second. That's no good from distance. Here's Jeremy Wise moving it up here for London, waiting for Warren Ward here. He takes it up for 3, and it's no good.
Total heat check again, but I do like what Kyle Julius did. He inserted his starting lineup right back into the game. See if they can get that chemistry going, see if they can get a little bit of something going. That's going to be a foul on, I believe, Stutz. They're going to say the pick that he set was a little too rough. Or do I have that backwards? I do.
So it's going to be against Kevin LaSalle. 10:30 on the clock here in the second quarter. River Lions with a 4-point lead. Springer Williams with it. Keeps possession. Distance 2 is good.
Springer Williams just having the best game we've seen him have in his NBL career. He showed flashes of this last year, but again was buried behind all the wings on the London Lightning. And he's from London too, so there's a little bit of an added bonus to really putting up some points tonight.
Garrett Williamson spins, fires. He'll be fouled. He'll take a trip to the line.
And this is one of the things Williamson's best at. He's always been able to get to the line, including a game last season where he actually shot 2 years ago, he shot 20 free throws, which is by far one of the most, I guess, prolific free throw shooting games that NBL Canada has ever seen. I think it's second all time, with number 1 coming in the NBL's very first season. So Garrett Williamson knows how to draw a foul or two.
Williamson goes to the line is pretty much seared into my brain at this.
Through. You just have to look at the bench scoring stats. It's 3 off the bench for the River Lions. However, for the London Lightning, one of the big reasons they made that comeback was their 15 points off the bench, and even 15 points off turnovers. Niagara had a real problem with the turnovers in that half as well. They're still shooting the lights out, though, at 65%. As we see the players almost run into the tire run. That was I would feel bad for the small child that would run into Chad Posthumus's knee.
That's what happens when you have new players. They don't know about the tire run. They weren't debriefed.
This is a tradition. Come on, Chad.
It's true. About 5 years running. As I mentioned,
running, nice.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty funny. Halftime again. What's cooking with Bill Ovens? Everyone's favorite basketball analyst will be in, and also Zach Dadson, the color commentator for the Niagara River Lions, will be joining us as well. He's been covering this team during its first couple months of since its inception, I guess, and the River Lions building up to what they have now. So obviously lots of excitement brewing around that home opener. So again, be sure to hang around after What's Cooking with Bill Ovens for an interview with Zach. So Clinton Springer Williams with possession here for the River Lions. They have my apologies, they're down 44-42. London with the lead. 6:11 on the clock. Ball's up, and a foul against the London Lightning.
Decent defense, but Springer Williams just gets Warren Ward off his feet there.
So Springer Williams will go to the line here for 2. 6:10 on the clock, halfway through this second quarter. Again, if you're just joining us, River Lions in the all-blue strip, London in their home whites. Springer Williams off. Wise with possession. Toss it off to Ward, and an errant pass there from Warren Ward. Niagara ball.
Well, that whole in sync comment from earlier doesn't really show itself there. That's a bit of an errant pass. Not everyone really communicating here on the Lightning as we see another lineup change. We're going to get our first look here at Mustafa Jones for the London Lightning. He's a shoot-first point guard. Ask questions later. Very good player based on his preseason play. Not necessarily going to get the most minutes, though.
Collected here from Curtis Washington. 44-43. Patterson takes the ball back. 5:38 on the clock. Postmus with a very athletic defensive rebound and a great block there from Allison.
Yeah, that was a goaltend there.
The refs are going to call that. So 46-43, 5:32 on the clock, and Niagara set to make a change here. It looks like Tremar Sutherland's coming back into the game. Clinton Springer-Williams heading out. Allison collects the ball, tosses it back off to Zielinski. Looks to the pick there from Logan Stutz. And that's no good from distance once again from Zielinski. Big offensive rebound. Allison can't finish. Stutz can't either. And there's no call against Mustafa Jones there. Patterson tosses it up. Oh, Garrett Williamson nearly with his second alley-oop of the game.
Got a nice body check in there as he lands on a fan.
Will take a trip to the line. So another change coming up here for the London Lightning. Looks like Stephen Maxwell is coming back into the game, and Curtis Washington is heading out. Interesting with Stephen Maxwell, one of these very young players on this London Lightning roster, just 22 years of age, also a Canadian as well.
He's possibly the youngest player on in the league at 22. And just a very, very interesting player. Looks like he lives in a gym. He's very cut, very strong man. And he kind of plays a mix of power forward and small forward at 6'7". He's able to post up a guy if he has to, but he's really much more comfortable at slashing. As we see Maxwell again going after the rim there. It's going to be a foul on Allison.
4.5 on the clock. And that's the 5th foul for the River Lions, 4 for the London Lightning so far in this second quarter. As you said, Maxwell described as a gym rat. Can't drain that first one. I know Kyle Julius it was very big on young players in Mississauga as well, as we see that second one going in. It's a development league, and we've always said that, but you know, the players seem to be getting younger and younger, and coaches seem to be really gung-ho on getting some 22-year-olds in and 23-year-olds that we hadn't necessarily seen before.
Well, specifically in London, too, it's been very much a win-first environment. This is the first time we've really seen them focus on bringing guys who can come back.
Garrett Williamson, he's come back. Collects. He finds a white wall surrounding him there as you see the foul, I believe, on Posthumus. Stutz going to the line. My apologies, that foul will go against Garrett Williamson. That's actually his third of the game. He's heading out of the game. Warren Ward coming in. Stutz getting set to go to the line again. 16 points for him so far, 4 rebounds as well. You see the crowd already jeering. They know that Stutz is the hot hand tonight.
He sort of chilled out a bit. That's only his 3rd point of this quarter, though, after a 14-point first quarter. Big difference for him.
17 points for the London Lightning in this quarter. Big turnaround for the hometown club. Patterson. He's got Jones in the corner. Moves around Posthumus. Takes it up. You see him slamming to the floor. You could hear it in Bud Gardens as well. Take a trip to the line by the looks of it.
Patterson did a good job of adjusting his body there to make sure that the contact was a blocking foul, instead of a charge. He'll go to the line.
So make that 6 fouls for the River Lions, now 5 for the London Lightning. And Patterson goes to the line here for 2 shots. Decent crowd here at Budweiser Gardens. Of course, Boxing Day. The NBLC home opener earlier in the day, St. John beat the Island Storm 121 to 106. And we'll also update you here in the Moncton Halifax game right now. Halifax with the lead 84 to 77. Again, the Halifax Hurricanes, another new franchise looking for their first win in their franchise history. Timeout from the London Lightning, 49 to 46. They've got the lead. Big turnaround.
Everything is locked down. Make sure everyone knows what their assignments are. Everyone knows what they have to do. And make sure that they go into this last minute and 30 of the second quarter really as a unit and knowing exactly what it is everyone needs to do. Just sort of rally the troops, settle them down, and keep up the momentum that they built. They really upped the intensity here in the second half. Part of that's the play of Tyshawn Patterson. He's just a very, very speedy guy, as we see owner Vito Frigia there. Has to be happy with what he's seen in the second quarter from his boys.
We pointed this out before, but the guy beside him on the right-hand side kind of looks like Justin Trudeau from certain angles. We brought it up, of course. The newly elected Canadian Prime Minister not in London tonight at this NBLC game.
But you'd think.
I know, you would. We had to confirm. 50 to 46, London with the lead here. You see Kyle Julius getting his final chat in
and pardon
with
me,
his assistant referee.
I said there was a minute 30 in the second quarter. It's actually 3 minutes and 43 seconds, which means I was very wrong.
I missed that. I love to correct you, Chris, so unfortunately I missed that.
Yeah, I beat you to it.
3:43 on the clock. London at the half century. Niagara taking the ball out. Interesting full court press here from the Lightning. Stutz. Bounce pass. Oh, fantastic play. Mike Allison couldn't finish.
I think that extra pass to Allison was just a bit too much on that one.
Maxwell off to Patterson. 3:33 on the clock in the second quarter. Maxwell up against Allison here. Oh, drives the lane. Blocked from Mike Allison.
Get out.
A very good defensive player. There's another good defensive play. Here come the Niagara River Lions. Zedlinski takes it out. Blazik from distance. No good on the 3. Big defensive rebound there from Maxwell.
And I like Maxwell. He's a bit of a bulldog down low, as we saw in that rebound there. That's just a case. Warren Ward. I'm not sure what that shot was, but I think he knew he was getting fouled, so he just sort of chucked it at the rim, see what happens. He'll go to the line and shoot too.
Absolutely. There you see Warren Ward, another former Mississauga Power player. Niagara getting set to make another change. And it looks like that could be Dylan Edgar coming back into the game. Yes, that will be him replacing Stutz here. So just under 3 minutes to go as you see Warren Ward going to line here for two.
Something to keep an eye on as we see the rest of this second quarter and going into the third. That's actually Stutz's third foul, so he's halfway to fouling out. Again, only 2:59 left in the second here.
Of course, Stutz leading the game with 16 points, and Warren Ward right behind him at 15. As we see Niagara getting set. Zielinski takes it across the line. He's got Blazik in this near side corner. Allison in motion. He'll take a distance three once again, that time draining it.
Shot that one from Mount Bridges. That was nowhere close to the three-point line. Sammy Zielinski showing some range.
Haddison. Up from Warren Ward, it's no good. Big play from Maxwell, can he put it back? No. Second try, yes, and he's fouled.
Again, Maxwell, no quit on that play, getting 2 offensive rebounds and just bulldogging down low to get the layup. And he's gonna go to the line and shoot a well-deserved extra shot here. Maxwell already missed 2 this game, but he's a 70% free throw shooter.
The River Lions moving across the court once again. Zielinski hot after that distance three-point shot last play. You see Wise not giving him any space. He'll find it instead, tossing it up. No good. It's now collected here from Patterson. He moves it across, tosses it up. No good, obviously. Looks like River Lions ball.
Patterson hit a wet spot there, but boy, was he ever going 150 miles an hour there. Jeez.
River Lions getting set. Blazik fakes the three. He'll take it. It's good. Fantastic individual efforts there from Zielinski and Blazik.
London with a lot of veteran players, and Jeremy Wise very smart here to just slow it down, kill some clock, go into the half with the lead, but the Niagara River Lions just not going away.
Posthumus takes it underneath, and it's good.
Again, that's a 270-pound man that can move like that under the basket. Very difficult to defend, as we see, I believe it was the River Lions calling that timeout.
I know we brought it up in the exhibition game, Chris, but it's worth noting once again, talking a bit about
Five-second back-down rule. I don't know exactly what you would call it. We like to call it the DeAndre Thomas rule here in the booth. You can't be posting up a player or backing him down and pushing him towards the net for more than 5 seconds. If you do it for more than 5 seconds, that's going to be a call and the ball going the other way. We talked with Chris Commons of the Windsor Express about this last week during their preseason game, and he had a very interesting comment in saying, well, you spoke to him, Marty. I'll let you say the comment.
Yeah, so he's obviously a veteran player, and he says that he's never played in a league where they've had the 5-second rule and no, as you mentioned before, no 3-second rule or 3 in the key, which is definitely interesting when you think about it. You know, he said he's definitely seen both. In certain cases, he's seen neither, but he's never seen one without the other, and he thought that was going to create a bit of an imbalance.
And you look at some players, it's just like, why would a guy like Chad Posthumus not just stand under the hoop for the entire game? Because you can't back a guy down, so you might as well just already be in position.
The Orangeville A's off to an early lead in Windsor, 7-6, 10 minutes to go in the first quarter there. Sutherland, 4 seconds on the shot clock, 1:17. Boom, big slam there. Fantastic finish from Mr. Lewis. My apologies, Dylan Edgar.
Just able to get that in before the shot clock, too. Tough break for the London Lightning. Played solid defense until maybe the last 3 seconds there.
Under a minute to go here, 55 seconds on the shot clock. Or game clock, rather. Patterson.
I thought Washington was a work in progress, but this week he's playing much, much better than last week. Way more confidence. And where we're sitting in section 114 there, we're looking to our left at the London defended basket. And when the two towers are in there, you can see a mass of people. And then all of a sudden, these two arms come up out of nowhere. And it's Washington. And he's got much better body control tonight, much better shot selection, and a nice move inside. Really nice move.
And he was kind of in charge of taking down Stutz as well, who's been off to a flyer. I know he had a very, very good first quarter. Your thoughts on him so far?
Stutz is good. He's clever and he's sneaky. And I saw him shaking hands with Garrett at the tip-off, and it sort of looked like they knew each other.
Yeah.
And they're very, very similar types of player, except Stutz is a little bit taller and Garrett is a little bit faster.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, he's a good player. Have him on team any day.
Maxwell. Your thoughts on him for London?
Well,
I know there's some comparisons there.
Yes, I wrote down he was the rebound at the end there. That was Forte-esque. I mean, this guy, when he gets his hand on the ball, it's not coming off. And I noticed he was the first guy that subbed in. So I think later in the season, watch for this. Watch for the sixth guy. I think Maxwell could become their sixth guy because he can go in, and Loisel wasn't blocking out. They weren't getting the boards, and then in came Maxwell, and all of a sudden the tide turned. And it wasn't so much size or speed or anything else, but Maxwell was blocking his guy out.
Yeah, 100%. Kevin Loisel.
Still like him. I know he's a London Lightning, so I'm going to like him. At the beginning of the game, he tried to do it all. He tried to go Kevin from Windsor, where Kevin can carry the mail.
What do you mean by that? What was he doing specifically?
He'd take end to end with the dribble. To play with.
So too excitable, I guess.
Too excitable.
Yeah.
I think he's got to get less, and I'd almost like to talk to him about it. He's got to get less intense, but more relentless. Mm-hmm. Forget the high energy, madman running after you, but just be like you're always there, always there, always there, always there.
100%.
But, yeah.
Garrett Williamson, big player. Bunch of dunks, but I know that really comes down to the weak side defense there.
It does come down to the weak side defense, and London and Niagara are both very weak on that. But Garrett was really showing up the weakness. Him and Wise, they're practicing that in the parking lot or something. That was brilliant.
Yeah,
those were very, and you didn't even see them coming. I'm watching the game, and I didn't see Garrett sneak down around the baseline and come in. Yeah. It was really well done. Really, really well done.
It looks like Garrett Williamson hasn't. I mean, it looks like he's gotten even better from what we saw him before. I know we used to talk about how he'd put up 20 points in a game, and you didn't even seem like you were talking about him that much. But he seems like he's still arguably one of the better, obviously one of the better Canadian players, but one of the better players in the league just from the early goings.
Yeah, he's you gotta like Garrett. I think Garrett's engaged. He is really engaged in the game. Mm-hmm. He wants to play. He wants to play hard. Maybe it'd help his Jay shooting if he just relaxed a little bit. But he's still right to the hoop and get those foul shots. And he changes speed so well under the basket. It looks like the defender's not covering him, but he's just changed speed on the defender, and the defender goes flying by him, and he looks like he's there all by himself.
Speaking about going to the hoop, Chad Posthumus.
I think his best action.
Yeah.
I was a little bit worried because Niagara's really big, but Chad's holding his own. Kudos to Chad. He's doing a great job.
Let's talk a bit about that first quarter. Let's talk a bit about the Niagara River Lions in general. First quarter, that huge 30-second barrage that you were talking about before.
Yeah, the London was dropping back and dropping back and dropping back. Then all of a sudden, right at half court, they had like 3 steals and bang, 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 bang. And the score was much, much closer. It was like an 8-point in about 30 seconds or something. And the Niagara coach had to be going, well, look at the score. It's 54-61. But if it wasn't for those 8 points, which was just like a 30-second mind fart by the players on the floor, it'd be an even game. I think that the playing together more is showing for London right now. The Ward pass aside.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But I think that was just miscommunication. But yeah, London looks, they know where each other are in the court. They look like they have a planned offense. I'm liking them.
Quick update on the other games real quick. Orangeville up 17-13 on Windsor. That's in the first quarter. Halifax up on Moncton 103-92. That's 7:45 left in the fourth quarter there.
Finally, the Niagara, my first impression of Niagara is they're very Brampton-esque. They're bombing threes from everywhere, and we get the long rebounds, the funny rebounds, they'll do well. When London brought in the Twin Towers, they closed off the board more than before and just slowed the game down to their pace.
We talked a bunch about that Brampton A side from last year and how exciting they were. Just because they had players like Akeem Scott, Akeem Ellis, that like quick players in the backcourt that made it so much fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, and Niagara is very, very. I see Niagara is very, very. I'm enjoying this game. They're a good team to watch. And London was worried in the first quarter. They really were. Yeah.
Here at halftime, the home opener between London and Niagara. And now I'm going to be joined by Mr. Zach Dadson, the color commentator for the Niagara River Lions. Zach, how you doing?
Great, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. I guess, is this your first ever NBLC game in person?
Yes, it is absolutely my first NBLC game in person, and what a great opportunity to see my first game here in London at the Lightning's arena.
Yeah, absolutely. So this Niagara River Lions team, you've kind of been following them, I guess, from the very, very beginning. Talk a bit about the River Lions, and that here in London, we've been talking a lot about how the River Lions have very much tried to follow the London Lightning model and has worked very close with this franchise to kind of make sure that they get the proper launch. So what has the River Lions really done in the community to set themselves apart from other NBLC franchises in the past?
You know, the Niagara community provides a great opportunity for a professional basketball team. There's no other competing basketball in the region. It provides a great opportunity for fans and for families in the Niagara region to come into the downtown St. Catharines core and view an excellent entertainment opportunity for a low price. St. Catharines has gone through a lot of renovations in the last couple of years and really reinventing their downtown core, and I think that the Niagara River Lions are the next step in that revitalization. They've made really excellent relationships with community partners, partnering with community care and lots of other great organizations within the community to really establish themselves as an institution in the community ahead of their launch tomorrow night.
Absolutely, and lots of excitement in the region, I'm sure, for tomorrow night. Talk a bit about the lead-up. I mean, what are people saying about the Niagara River Lions?
You know, the community's really buzzing. We had hundreds and hundreds of people come out to It's really exciting that the city of St. Catharines built the Meridian Center 2 years ago, and their only full-time tenant was the Niagara Ice Dogs. And so to add the River Lions to our downtown core, it's really creating a lot of buzz for opportunities for more people to come out, go to games, check out restaurants in downtown, local establishments. It's really a win-win for everybody involved.
Talk a bit about the ownership group. I know that you've been communicating with them quite a bit. I think it's a core of 3 guys,
That's
I think.
right.
Yeah. Talk a bit about their backgrounds and where they kind of come from, I guess.
Yeah, so they established themselves with lots of real estate in the Niagara region and own a couple different properties. They really started thinking about creating the Niagara River Lions last year when they were season ticket holders for the Mississauga Power.
Oh, yeah.
They really had an opportunity to check out the league and were really impressed with the product on the floor and knew that the Niagara community was going to be an excellent place to house that great basketball.
Yeah.
They
Sorry.
I was just going to say that they it seems that they've been doing everything right in the lead up to the launch tomorrow night. They have been intentional in the partnerships that they've built. They've been intentional in making sure that they are attending community events and building relationships with not only businesses and organizations, but also with the fans in the St. Catharines and Niagara region.
Yeah, and we've talked a bit about this even on the broadcast, talking about London being a great market for sports in general, and for the people that are listening that haven't heard this, I guess this theory before is it's talking a bit about putting a team in Mississauga, putting a team in Toronto, in the GTA in general. Seems like a great idea just from a population base, but your population base needs to be engaged with that particular sports franchise. So I guess the theory behind this is that there isn't a whole lot around London, and if you put the Niagara region his own community, and I've seen so many comparisons between London and obviously St. Catharines, Niagara Falls, that whole area, and kind of being the same thing where if you're going to put something there, the population's going to get behind it.
I grew up in the Brampton area, and I have always felt that growing up in Brampton, people read Toronto newspapers. They work in Toronto, they travel to Toronto, their entertainment is based in the Toronto area. When I moved to Niagara a couple of years ago, people were so invested in the Niagara community. They're invested in Niagara politics. They read the newspaper locally and comment and are engaged in the political scene locally, and they're engaged in the sports scene locally. I think fans are very aware that the Niagara River Lions are not going to be the Toronto Raptors or a National Basketball Association team, but they're our team, and they won't compete with Toronto. They are their own entity, and the fans are going to be able to come from the entire Niagara region, which is about almost 500,000 people in the greater Niagara community, to come out and support this hometown team that is their own.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Any predictions for tomorrow night?
They're looking great tonight. They started off so hot in the first half, and I think that they are going to really feed off the hometown crowd. I think that London really provided an excellent example of what a National Basketball League of Canada franchise is, and looking around the arena tonight, there's such a great level of support that it'll be really exciting for the players to see how many fans come out tomorrow night from their hometown region to support them. Absolutely.
Any specific player on this Niagara River Lions team that's kind of not surprised you, but perhaps impressed in the early going?
Yeah, I think it's obvious that Logan Stutz has had an amazing first half to this game. He really looks like he is operating at another level. Early in the first quarter, he seemed that he was able to walk into the paint so unobstructed, and fans to really get excited about it.
Absolutely, especially when the player has so much confidence as he does so far.
You know, leading into the season, there had been a lot of talk about Greg Carter of the Niagara River Lions and his great defense and teamwork, and that he was such a coachable player, and that he was a great defensive star at Lakehead University, where he was a co-captain his last year as a senior. And he hasn't seen the floor tonight, and I'm excited to see what role he'll play tonight and moving forward for the River Lions.
Absolutely, yes. Greg Carter, the only player. Well, sorry, I should say Russ Conley also has yet to see the floor for the Niagara River Lions, who are playing their first ever game as an NBLC franchise. Zach, thank you so much for this. I appreciate it.
So happy to be here.
Really excited for tomorrow night. Really excited to watch the stream on YouTube. So again, thank you very much, Zach. All the best to you and the River Lions as well.
Great.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So we've just got about a minute to go before the third quarter gets underway here at Budweiser Gardens. London with a 61-54 lead over the River Lions. As we mentioned, their first ever game as an NBLC franchise. Marty Thompson and Chris Croucher up in the booth here for the call in the third and fourth quarters. And just a quick update on the out-of-town scoreboard. It looks like Halifax is up 113-100. 4 minutes to go in that one in the fourth quarter. Halifax over the Moncton Miracles. And also the Orangeville A's off to a fantastic start in Windsor. 31-16, they've got the lead. And I believe that is in the second quarter. Windsor obviously receiving their championship medals, or their championship rings, I should say, tonight after winning the NBLC finals last year. Their second in a row.
I've got to say, that's a big surprise out of Orangeville. 31-16. As far as people who analyze the league, watch it, I don't think anyone
Well, we talked about that, and we talked about that with Niagara as well, where, you know, if they don't really have any solid exhibition games that are, you know, are reported on and that people come to and stuff, and stats are recorded, then it's really hard to gauge what they're going to look like. And especially with Ken Murray's side, we really didn't know. We you know, and there's no way of really knowing unless you're able to get into their practices somehow, which you know, I'm not going to break and enter to watch a basketball game.
Also, breaking into a high school is bad. Mind you, it's a very nice gym. I shouldn't be like this.
No.
This is not your average high school. It's the Athletes Institute.
Absolutely, yeah, of course. So we're underway here in the third quarter. 61-54. The London Lightning have the lead. The River Lions have the ball. Mr. Stutz there. Logan Stutz keeps possession. It'll fall out of play. Niagara will keep possession. 11:41 on the game clock. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Inbound coming here from Springer Williams, the Londoner.
Ward got a piece of that.
It's up there from DeQuan Cook, and it's good.
DeQuan Cook quietly having himself a nice little game. Only has 4 points, but he's had 6 rebounds on a team that's really needed it, because other than Stutz, no one has more than 2.
Ward takes it down low, takes it up top now to Lazelle. Back to Ward. 11:17 on the clock here in the third quarter. It's no good there from Ward. Taken here from Cook. Zielinski. Now down to Stutz. He waits out Kevin Lazelle and drains that for 2.
Way too easy from the London Lightning. A little lazy getting back there. Stutz able to take advantage of the wide open lane.
Williamson. Into Warren Ward. Some good defense there from Blazik to strip the ball loose only momentarily. Fresh shot clock, 10:37 on the game clock. Williamson can't drain, it'll fall out of play, and it'll be London ball.
I'm not sure about that one. probably went off Williamson, but we'll go with the ref's decision on that one.
10:33 on the clock, and the refs are actually going to change their mind. So River Lions will get possession. Ziglinski tosses it long. Blazik will take possession. Garrett Williamson matching up with him here early. 15 seconds of the shot clock, 10:23 on the game clock. DeQuan Cook from the very top. It's no good. Collected here from Warren Ward. Ward charges down, drop pass here to Posthumus. And he's fouled. He'll take a trip to the line after emphatically dumping it after the whistle.
Again, Chad Posthumus not used to the type of performance he's having tonight. He's actually got a double-double. He's 10 points, 10 rebounds right now, but this is a guy who, when he came into the league last year, averaged 25 and 14. So only having 10 now, he knows he could have been better. He's shot 5 of 9, which is fine. The team as a whole is shooting 48%, which is, again, not ideal, but also fine. Posthumus, a very fiery guy, though. He always wants to be the best on the court every time he's out there. And
also another interesting stat from Posthumus so far, 0 fouls from him. And it's obviously good when you have such a physical player like that to stay scotch-free even into one half. That's fantastic. As he Stutz going from distance, missing that one.
Well, when you consider big men are the ones who usually end up fouling out the most, when you can keep one in there for an entire first half or even the entire game.
You see Springer Williams draining that for 3. Fantastic ball movement from the
running, and the Niagara River Lions just had everyone on the Lightning scrambling.
Warren Ward takes that one up, and it's good for 3.
Beautiful answer shot from Warren Ward, and it's funny, we just talked about how the last one was like the London Lightning. That one right there, also vintage London Lightning.
And the River Lions get one right back here to make it 66-63, 9:10 on the clock. Kevin Lozelle tosses it up, gets his own rebound, try to put it back, won't be good. But he'll be fouled. He'll take a trip to the line.
Gotta say, Lozelle might be the most demonstrative player on the floor since DeAndre Jordan for the London Lightning.
DeAndre Thomas. Yeah,
Thomas, pardon me. If DeAndre Jordan was on the Lightning, they'd have won like 8 championships in 3 years.
9:04 on the clock here in the third quarter. Warren Ward now with 13 shots. The next player that would match up with him in that regard would be Chad Posthumus with just 8. So it seems like Kyle Julius electing to go to Warren Ward more often than not. You see Kevin Lozelle missing that first shot.
I find it interesting that Chad Posthumus's shooting number, I don't know how to say Chad Posthumus in like possessive. But Chad Posthumus's shooting numbers are identical to the 3-point shooting numbers of Warren Ward. They're both 5 of 9 from this game.
Absolutely.
Ward 6 of 14 for the whole game, but 5 of 9 from the 3-point line, and Posthumus 5 of 9 for the whole game.
Now, if you had a group of Posthumus, okay, sorry,
Posthumi?
I'm not gonna overcomplicate this. Blazik tosses it off, 67-63. Lightning with the lead. 8:50 on the clock here in the third. Stripped. Garrett Williamson with it.
Watch behind.
Looks to the left. Wise. He'll take the ball back. Takes it up to Warren Ward. He'll toss it up. It's no good, and it'll fall out.
Really paced the game when the Lightning need it.
Blazik from distance. It's no good. Collected there by Posthumus. Now London with possession. Ward lugging it across here for the Lightning. Again, they have a 67-63 lead. 8:15 on the clock. 2 fouls for the River Lions. 0 for the London Lightning so far. Ball's up. Offensive rebound here for Maxwell, and he puts it back.
Maxwell might be king of the putbacks when all is said and done. I feel like every basket he's gotten has been through that. He's a very athletic player, though, and he tends to win those battles.
Stutz underneath against Posthumus. Foul. Stutz will take a trip to the line as he takes his goggles off for a brief moment. .7:54 on the clock here. That's, again, the first foul against Posthumus. As we mentioned, he lasted this long without a foul. He'll actually be heading off as looks like Curtis Washington will be taking his place. Capers also coming on. He'll replace Garrett Williamson. So
well, go ahead.
2 shots coming up here from Stutz.
One of the areas the River Lions are going to look to improve in the next game has definitely been rebounding, specifically offensively. The River Lions, as a team, have 20 rebounds, 3 offensive, 17 defensive. Going the other way, though.
See Capers draining that one. Massive play from the London Lightning, 71-64.
Again, we see the athleticism of Capers running the floor faster than a point guard.
Zaglinski takes that one up. It's no good, and no foul there as well as he took it underneath, and somehow Clinton Springer-Williams keeps it up, but he just tosses it to London Lightning. And here they come. Wise looks back. Washington fouled. He'll take a trip to the line.
Excellent play from Curtis Washington. Able to adjust midair and get that little lay in there. He was going for the big dunk, as we see here. I'm not sure if Allison was trying to take a And again, he adjusts his body so he goes almost sideways into Mike Allison there as he makes the free throw to make it a 3-point play.
Massive now up to 7 points on the night there, Curtis Washington. 74-64, London with a 10-point lead, and that's going to be too rough. As you see Stutz getting helped up there from Maxwell.
Going back to the rebound battle we talked about earlier, one of the things of a guy like Logan Stutz is he scores a lot of points. But when it comes to rebounding, he's actually second on the team with 6, but he's also played a lot of minutes. You look at the team itself, 3 offensive rebounds compared to 13 offensive rebounds for the London Lightning. That's been a huge difference. And of course, the total rebounds 35-20 for the Lightning. And then the other big difference between these two teams so far is bench scoring. 7 points for the River Lions, 29 for the Lightning.
You see Stutz draining that one, makes it 21 points on the night for him. Leading the game, Warren Ward with 19. He's behind him in that category. Patterson moves it across. 7:15 on the clock, 74-66. Oh, he's taking it all the way. It's blocked by Allison, and that's going to be another goaltending? Or no, that's just going to be a foul.
I thought that one was clean on there. Allison also thought it was clean based on his reaction there. It was a bit weak. I'll give the refs benefit of the doubt on that one, but I don't know if I would have blown the whistle.
Patterson at the line here. 2 shots coming up from him. There's the first one. 7:09 on the clock. 4 fouls for the River Lions. 2 for the London Lightning here at Budweiser Gardens. They're in their home whites. Niagara in the away blues.
You know, that play we just saw, it really shows Patterson's This really is a time now for the Lightning to pull away. They've done it a bit here. If they can, they should try to bury the River Lions here.
And you see Jordan Widener coming in, and you see him matching up against Zaglinski. Widener, a very good defensive player. Ooh, Stutz slams that one. A bit unorthodox, but it'll do.
It's not how, it's how many, and that'll be 2 points there for Logan Stutz.
Capers to Curtis Washington, 6:44 on the clock. Maxwell up against Allison. Jordan Widener, 8 seconds on the shot clock. Widener takes it up from the top of the key. It's no good, and it's collected here from Allison. Now here comes Springer Williams right up the court. River Lions wasting no time. That's a block from Capers, and that's finished from Stutz once again.
Stutz has really found himself again. He had a bit of a quiet second quarter, but now he's really leading the way for the Niagara River Lions again. Remarkably, 24 points already in this game, and we still have 6 minutes to go in the third.
Widener in a bit of a mismatch there, and it's tipped off of the rim. And it looks like London will keep possession here with a fresh shot clock. And it looks like Niagara's making a change. Looks like you've got Marcus Lewis coming in, making way for Springer Williams.
You know, we're seeing something similar to what the London Lightning did in their preseason game against Windsor, where they really tried to push the pace in the first 2 quarters, get themselves a lead. They have that lead now, and now they're just trying to slow it down to a crawl, really make Niagara play at their pace.
Distance here from Patterson, and it's good. Unbelievable shot there from Mr. Patterson.
The kid can make them all, and he's had an absolutely stellar game for the Lightning. That will give him 15 points in this game off the bench. Most of the bench scoring, of course, coming
update on this out-of-town scoreboard. Halifax versus Moncton is wrapped up. The Hurricanes get their first win in their first game as a new franchise, 129-113 the score there. Again, that game just wrapped up. Halifax beat the Miracles 129-113. Meantime, in Windsor, the Orangeville A's with a 10-point lead. 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. They're up 37-27 on the two-time defending champ Windsor Express. The Niagara River Lions impressing in their debut, 53% when it comes to field goals so far, 48 for the London Lightning. But obviously a good start for the River Lions, a brand new franchise. You've got Ken Murray as well coming into the league. There's a lot to know about specifics when it comes to picking players for the NBLC, just because it's a bit more of a physical league and it's quite a bit different from the leagues you'd see in Europe. But obviously good for the Niagara River Lions to start the game so strong and to be very, very competitive very early.
Well, it seems like they found 2 young cornerstones. I mean, you've got 24 points coming from Logan Stutz at this point in the game, which is absolutely remarkable. We didn't really know much about him, but he has been everything that the River Lions could ask for, 24 points, 6 rebounds. And then someone we did know but didn't know he could do this is Clinton Springer Williams, former London Lightning from London, able to get 19 points, 7 of 10 shooting too. Just some excellent ball from Clinton Springer Williams. And again, maybe now that he's not in the log jam of wings that happened in London last year, maybe he gets a chance to really show what he can do on the NBL stage.
Well, Springer Williams, as we see that shot there coming from the far, or the near side rather, from 3 from Niagara. I was done with that. I know that Bill is big on what he can bring to the team, or what he did rather bring to the London Lightning. Another distance shot. Unbelievable from Patterson.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Incredible shot from Patterson, defender right in his face. And I don't even think the defender reacted because Patterson got that shot off so quick. The defender was still getting ready to make sure he didn't pass it. Off the foot.
And that's off of Widener. So yeah, going back to Springer Williams, he did break through and he had all the potential in the world. But as you said, you know, there was a load of wings on that London Lightning team last year.
Well, you look at how many of these guys who were between 6'4" and 6'5" that played, you know, a wing position. It was like 8 of them on the London Lightning roster last year. And as we see, a shot from Mike Allison won't go. Maxwell with the rebound. But you look at all those wings on London, it's like, who do you take the touches away from? Emmanuel Little was one of their best players last year. He has to get the ball. Brent Jennings was a good player last year. He has to get the ball. And even though Springer Williams was starting, he didn't really get the ball much.
Patterson tosses that up, and it's another gorgeous play from Mr. Patterson. Unbelievable stuff from the 24-year-old. And that's a foul. And that's going to go against Stephen Maxwell. 4.5 left in this third quarter, 84-73. London with the lead, Niagara with the ball. Zaglinski, gorgeous play, finishes for 2.
Zaglinski's made a couple of nice plays here. He's going to have 10 points and 8 assists on the night. He's actually likely to end up getting that double-double. It's a nice showing for him. First time he's been playing in Ontario since he was a member of the visiting Island Storm.
Intercepted there from Stutz. The pass came from Maxwell.
Looking for someone to take it from.
Take a trip to the line.
I feel like we're going to be saying a lot of Zaglinski to Stutz right here. Zaglinski, a very gifted passer. And Stutz seems to have a chemistry with him where he knows where Zaglinski likes to put the ball, and Zaglinski knows where Stutz likes to get the ball. So they've actually got a nice chemistry here. We've seen a couple of times. I think Zaglinski wanted to make the earlier pass, but the 2 Lightning defenders just sort of created a wall, closed off that gap. But Zaglinski already loving to make that little bounce pass to a cutting Stutz. Look for a lot of that this year.
Meantime, Stutz at the line, and Chad Posmith comes in, so perhaps Kyle Julius looking for that matchup to work out for London on the defensive side anyways. 3:56 on the clock, ball's up, it's good there from Stutz. And London getting set to make another change. Marcus Caper coming in, and it looks like they replace Stephen Maxwell. 84-77, 4 fouls each so far in the third quarter. Marty Thompson and Chris Crouch are up in the booth here. Taishuan Patterson moving it across. Very impressive. Same goes for Warren Ward in their first competitive games as a member of the London Lightning. Chad Posthumous up against Stutz here. Backs in. Allison in there as well, and it's tipped. Good defensive play here from the Niagara River Lions, who are charging up the courts. Finished. Fantastic stuff from the River Lions. 84-79, 3:30 on the game clock.
That was a difficult finish from Lewis, too. That ball was not where you want it to be on an alley-oop. Excellent play.
Patterson in the corner. Warren Ward with it. Dangles, takes it up for 2.
Warren Ward, he shoots a lot of threes, and then you get sucked into believing that he's just a shooter. And then he catches you like that. He's just as able to score points off the dribble as he is from the three-point line.
Zaglinski looking for some space. 10 seconds on the shot clock, 3 minutes on the game clock.
Just about hit the rafters before it went in, but that should be count. Let's give him 1 point.
All right.
We'll give him 1 imaginary point because that was a very nice shot.
With that imaginary point, he has 27 on the night. That ball's tipped out. Of course, 26 points for him so far. Obviously a very impressive debut for him. And London getting set to make a change. Jeremy Wise coming in and Garrett Williamson coming out. 2:56 on the clock, 6 seconds on the game clock.
We're seeing another small backcourt here with Wise and Taishuan Patterson. I kind of like it. Patterson's a bit more of that shooting guard style of player, even though he's got the size of a point guard. He's much more of a combo guard. And so having Wise in there as your distributor frees Tyshawn Patterson to do stuff like that.
As you see Patterson on that spin, he gets the ball back. He takes a dribble, takes the three. It's no good. Looked around, didn't see any defenders. Why not bounce the ball one more time? Zaglinski. Three, it's no good. It's collected here from Wise. 2:27 on the game clock.
Early in the shot clock, too. I'm not sure Ken Murray's going to love that.
Ward into Chad Posthumus. Up against Logan Stutz and Mike Allison, and he gets it off. Couldn't finish, though.
Posthumus calling for a foul there.
Chips it into the corner. That's Lewis. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds. So a set of changes here for the Niagara River Lions. Looks like Dylan Edgar's coming in, and also Adam Blazik making his way back in. Logan Stutz on his way out there for the River Lions. As we mentioned, 26 points to his name so far. Patterson takes it to the hoop. Unbelievable stuff from Patterson as he hits his head off of the net.
I don't think he has, it's like he has just one gear and it's really, really fast the whole time. His 22 points also lead the way, and if you can have that kind of talent coming off the bench, this is a frightening Lightning roster.
Posthumus takes it under. They're going to call a foul there.
By the way, it's very hard to say frightening Lightning.
I'm not going to try it.
You don't have to try it, just fair warning if you come to that point.
Minute and a half in the third, 88-79. The London Lightning with the lead here in their home opener. Warren Ward getting set on the inbound. Off to Patterson. He has 22 points, number 22, of course. And that's going to be a foul. Pretty easy to call that one if you're the referees.
Patterson just hit the deck. Wow, that you heard that all throughout the arena. Looks like he's okay, but I think he might have dramatized it a bit there as he'll go to the free throw line. Again, he's just got no stop.
Niagara River Lions up to 6 fouls there. And the inbound's coming up. Capers with it. Chips it off to Jeremy Wise. Ward with it. You got Warren Ward with 21 points. And then you've got Tyshawn Patterson with 22 points. Leading London here. Chad Posthumus takes it up. He'll be foul. Oh, my apologies. Travel. Minute 14 on the clock. Niagara set to take possession here.
A fan who sounds an awful lot like Bill Hovins, rather loudly booing that one.
That's very professional of you. Can't confirm it is him, but it does kind of sound like it. Blazik into Allison. Looking around for an option. Lewis is the man right now, and he'll lose possession, and they're going to to Patterson. Capers. 10 seconds on the shot clock. It's up to Posthumus. It's no good. Collected here by the River Lions.
Posthumus just snake bit right now. He hasn't made a shot in the second half yet.
Ball's up there on the far side, rather. That's Blazik. And now Patterson wants it. He's going to give it back. Fired pass, and it's tipped out from Blazik. He's going to keep it in. My apologies. And that's going to be a kick ball against Niagara.
Tyshawn Patterson again just wreaking havoc there. Aggressively chasing down that ball. He's just a little Energizer bunny. Won't stop going.
19 seconds to go in this quarter. The shot clock has expired. Inbound coming up here for the London Lightning. Again, they have an 88-79 lead. Capers off to Possumus and out to Jeremy Wise, who, and you mentioned, Chris, that veteran presence will just slow things down here. So we come the last 10 seconds of this third frame. Blazik matching up against Wise. He's going to take it across. So he loses possession. It's going to fall out off of London. So Niagara with 2.2 seconds to maybe put this ball in the basket and gain some momentum heading into the fourth quarter.
That was a bit of an important stop, too. 9 points is not a terrible thing to go into the fourth quarter down by, unless they make this.
Ball's up from Lewis, and it's no good on the air ball. So 88-79, London Lightning with the lead here at Budweiser Gardens. Marty Thompson and Chris Croucher up in the booth here. Kyle Julius looking to get his first competitive win as London Lightning coach. And it looks like they're well on their way to that. What's your thoughts on the London Lightning so far, and especially Kyle Julius' coaching? Seems to be working well.
Well, we saw a strong start from the River Lions, but Kyle Julius went into the half. Spaced the floor with three-pointers, and then once that floor got spaced out a bit, they would have a backdoor cut by Logan Stutz, and they've completely eliminated that backdoor cutting play, and now the three-pointers aren't going. Shooting 45%, which is not awful, but not enough if you're going to not have the backdoor cut to Stutz that was working so well. They're trying something a little different, having Stutz cut through the lane to the left side and get Zaglinski with the bounce pass to it, but they still have yet to find consistent success with that. Taking a look at some of the stats, the big one that stands out to me is the bench scoring. I think the depth of London finally started out energizing the Niagara River Lions. Bench scoring is 41 for London, 12 for Niagara, so they're going to have to figure out some reserves who can put up some points for future games. Looking at some of the other stats there, leading the London Lightning in points, Tyshawn Patterson with 22, and Warren Ward right behind him with 21. Chad Possumus with a double-double, 12 points and a team-leading 12 rebounds. And Jeremy Wise leading with 5 assists. Looking at some of the other stats for the River Lions, you've got Logan Stutz at 26 points, 7 rebounds. Clinton Springer-Williams, 19 points. And then Sammy Zaglinski with 10 points, 8 assists.
Absolutely. Lots of good production from the Niagara River Lions' point of view, especially with Springer-Williams notching, again, 19 points. It's always good to see the Canadians do well on teams like this, just because, you know, from a coach's standpoint, you know, to have a very, very, very good Canadian player obviously helps your team out quite a bit. You know, not to speak low on the Canadian players of past that have come through this league, but in certain markets, and London being one of them, you know, sometimes Canadian players have trouble breaking into the side, and it's obviously good to see players like Clinton Springer-Williams perform well. And
also developed into a guy who's now starting for the London Lightning, or Clinton Springer-Williams was a bench player for the Lightning. Now he's starting for the River Lions. Even a guy like Shamar Sutherland, who's really stepped in. He was a good player for the Moncton Miracles, and he's going to be off the bench here in London, but they're starting to not only have Canadian talent, but they're starting to grow some of their own too.
Absolutely. Fourth quarter about to get underway here. 88-79, the River Lions down in this one to the London Lightning. Another quick update on the out-of-town scoreboard. The Orangeville A's and Windsor Express are now tied 42 each. That's about 40 minutes to go in the second quarter there. And then just to recap the day's scores from a very busy opening day in the NBLC. 4 games, obviously the maximum of 4 games going on today. St. John beat the Island Storm 121-106 on the island. And Moncton fell to Halifax, the Halifax Hurricanes, 129-113. That was just earlier tonight, about a half an hour ago or so. So Marcus Capers getting set to inbound here for the hometown London Lightning. They're up 88-79, fourth quarter about to get underway. Capers off to Wise, and we are underway here at Budweiser Gardens. Again, a decent crowd here for a Boxing Day matchup. Of course, the league electing to start the season quite a bit later this year, starting on Boxing Day. They found that crowds were a bit better after the Boxing Day or the Christmas break, as you see Warren Ward draining 2 there. So again, the league starting with a 40-game schedule on Boxing Day and moving well into the spring months. Springer Williams with it. Zaglinski. Here's Stutz up against Capers.
Just charges the basket like a maniac and able to get the layup and the foul. He lives on the free throw line, and he's returning there now. Marcus Capers and Warren Ward share a handshake after that one. That might be my new favorite, Selly.
92-79. Williamson at the line here. His one and only shot is no good. Springer Williams moving the ball up here for the River Lions. Bounce pass. Oh, easily collected there by Curtis Washington. Disappointing if you're Coach Murray on the Niagara side is to see Garrett Williamson getting it done on the far side.
Garrett Williamson's had a bit of a quiet game. He only had 8 points, which is far from the pace we're used to from him. But he's going to have 5 points just now to give him 13 for the game. Again, Williamson averaged just under 20 a game in his NBL Canadian Player of the Year season 2 years ago.
From the corner, it's good from Mr. Warren Ward.
He might be the best celebrator in the NBL so far. We've seen the handshake, and now we've seen the point. Just waiting for the dab.
DeQuan Cook taking that up. It's no good. Another attempt, and they're going to call that one against Curtis Washington. 97-81, as you can hear rather, the boos raining down here at Budweiser Gardens for that call. As you heard Bob mention, Curtis Washington having a decent game, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Disappointed to have that call against him, his second foul of the game so far tonight.
Washington's put it
up, and it's good. On the first attempt there from Cook. DeQuan Cook, New Jersey native, 28-year-old. Went to the same high school as Kyrie Irving in New Jersey. Second shot is good. 97-83. 10 minutes to go in this one here at Budweiser Gardens. The first game of the NBLC season for both of these teams. They'll pick it up, though, tomorrow in Niagara, 6 p.m. start. Massive game for the Niagara River Lions. Their home opener, their first ever home game. Again, that's a 6 p.m. start at the Meridian Center. Zedlinski, or my apologies, that's Blazik underneath. That's no good. Ball's up, and it's good there from Mr. Garrett Williamson.
Great job by Williamson, keeping that aggressiveness up, making sure the London Lightning close this one out.
Zedlinski on the far side. Keeps it up. It's swatted there from Curtis Washington. And that's out of bounds. River Lions will get possession here, 99-83. Quick change coming up here for the River Lions. Dunn coming into the game, and Blazic will make way. Dunn pushes it underneath, can't drain. Springer Williams nearly had the rebound. That's blocked there from Curtis Washington. Jeremy Wise takes it down low. Capers. Now off to Warren Ward. 10 seconds on the shot clock, 9:10 on the game clock. Capers. Back to Warren Ward for three. No good. And Niagara easily collects the ball there on the rebound. 9 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Zedlinski takes after this timeout by the River Lions. Again, they're down 99-83 in this one. Marty Thompson and Chris Croucher up in the booth here with you tonight. Good start from the River Lions. Fell apart a bit in the last quarter, but obviously a good start for the expansion Niagara team.
They had a very good start to the game, but they've really started slowing down a bit, and you just can't do that against a team like the London Lightning. London's athleticism has been really making an impact here too. They're a very strong, long, athletic team, and I think the River Lions are just running out of gas a bit here. They need to find some scorers other than Stutz and Springer Williams, both of whom have been fairly quiet in the second half. London's done a good job of keeping them from doing what makes them successful. Not the best half for the River Lions, but they're young and they're learning, and they'll get there.
Absolutely, as we see the crowd getting a bit fired up here at Budweiser Gardens. Again, a very good crowd on this Boxing Day opener. Another quick update there from Windsor, likely our last of the night. 42-all, that's how that game between Orangeville and Windsor is at, and it just headed into halftime. So again, the Orangeville A's taking on the Windsor Express for the first time as a team based out of Orangeville, Ontario. Ball's coming in here from the Niagara River Lions. They're down 99-83, 8:50 on the clock in the fourth. Stutz takes possession. Bounce pass, and the refs are going to blow that down.
Now they're just trying to feed the ball to Stutz, get him going again. Again, he's gone very quiet in the second half, but he still has 26 points, 9 rebounds. Hoping that
Far side. As Zach mentioned at halftime, Greg Carter, another player that Niagara has in their arsenal, not playing tonight, unfortunately. The Lakehead grad. There's lots been said about him in the preseason, in the lead up to this regular season. One of the Canadians for Niagara. Hopefully he'll make an appearance as being a very strong Canadian prospect in this league. Kevin Lozelle, a strong Canadian in this league. He's out-muscled though, as Niagara get possession back, and the ball will fall out of play off of Sutherland, and London get the ball back.
Lozelle, I think after every single positive play, has bent his knees just a bit and started celebrating hard immediately. It's pretty wonderful to watch. Again, London Lightning so far leading the league in sellies, which I know is very important in the stat column.
I've been keeping track. Just kidding, I have not. Williamson with possession. Bounce pass to Washington. He'll go to the hoop. Drained it. Fantastic play from the Lightning.
I gotta say, I always have one bench player who I absolutely adore the game of, and Washington is that player so far for me. Again, super long, super athletic. Probably could have played better defense on that one, but for the most part has been good in his own end.
101-84 as the London Lightning break the 100-point plateau with 8 minutes to go in this game. So Marcus Capers getting set to come on here for the London Lightning. Maxwell will make way. Should be noted that we have not seen Nick Okori yet for the London Lightning. For those who aren't aware of Nick Okori, one of the better NBLC scorers in recent memory, but he's, I believe, got a foot injury, so because when Nick Okori comes to the team, it's only going to be better.
Well, it's funny because they actually found a very adequate, more than adequate Nick Okori replacement in Tyshawn Patterson. Again, Patterson 22 points, and Okori and him play very similar games. They're smaller combo guards who can just rack up points.
Capers missed the pass there, but the refs are going to blow that one down. 101-86, 7:48 on the clock here at Budweiser Gardens.
I believe that call there was they were saying Capers got pushed when he jumped up to grab the ball. He did get pushed a little bit.
Ball's in. Williamson takes it back. Fresh shot clock. He's matching up here down low. Capers takes it back. Williams with a bit of space, and that's enough. 103-86, 7:30 on the clock. Zaglinski moves it across half. Takes a three from distance, and it's good. Zaglinski, every once in a while, he'll drain one of those, and it makes it even more impressive.
He's smart because he doesn't fall in love with that three-point shot, but he knows it's a weapon in his arsenal if he needs it.
Jeremy Wise hands it off to Washington. Capers with it. 7 minutes to go. Williamson. Curtis Washington takes it up for two.
Logan Stutz just isn't sturdy enough to take on a guy like Curtis Washington. Washington, again, having a very impressive second half, simply closing out the game, and he's able to kill a lot of clock, although, again, probably wants to watch the defense.
Sammy Zaglinski with another set of points. Makes it 105-91, 6.5 left in the game.
I think I need to just stop complimenting Washington because every time I do, there's a bit of a collapse.
And you see it to go. 0 for 2 there from Washington on that attack. So Patterson comes back into the game. As we mentioned before, 22 points, 8 for 7 seconds on the shot clock, 6 minutes to go. He charges, and it's good. Back-to-back-to-back points from Sammy Zaglinski.
Well, they needed someone to step up, and Zaglinski's been that guy so far, just able to cut to the basket that time. I'll give him 17 points in the game. Remember, at the start of the quarter, he only had 10.
Lascelles backs in on Stutz. It's the shot off. It's no good. Collected here from Allison. 5.5 left. Ball falls out of play. And looks like Niagara will get the ball back. And that's a timeout by Kyle Julius and the London Lightning, 105-93. Kyle Julius, obviously off to a good start. your thoughts on his coaching so far. I don't know if you picked up on anything specific. Obviously, a small sample size, and when it comes to coaching, it really comes down to how you do over the season and how you react to certain things. But your thoughts on Julius so far?
Well, I gave my opinions last year on coaching, and one of the things I said is the team that comes out of every break, what are the adjustments that are made? Does the team come out of a break stronger than usual? That's the sign of a good team. Kyle Julius does that. Every single time there's a timeout, every single time that there's a break in the quarter, the half, the team comes out stronger. And we've seen that in the way they shut down Logan Stutz specifically. Stutz was getting the backdoor passes. They were throwing literally anyone they could to find someone who could match up against him, anyone who could give him trouble. And eventually Julius figured it out, made the adjustment, and that's when the Lightning started to pull ahead. The thing that intrigues me isn't about tonight, though. It's about what's going to happen tomorrow night, because we've seen the depth on the Niagara River Lions to not be quite at the same point as London. So if they're playing a back-to-back and they have to play in Niagara tomorrow night, play, and how specifically are the Niagara River Lions going to play coming out of a back-to-back? Pardon me, going into the second game of a back-to-back.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And it's going to be interesting because London also have a quick turnaround for their game after that. Wow, fantastic stuff there from Dunn. And he's going to take the trip to the line after that fantastic play to the hoop. London's got to turn around and play Windsor on Tuesday at home. Obviously, we'll have that game here. But that's a quick turnaround, and these games are going to come quick. As we mentioned before, the league expanded to 40 games per team, and it's a bit more condensed. So as you mentioned with that back-to-back, it's going to be interesting how they react. But then you've got to go and play a very physical Windsor Express team right after that.
And the Windsor Express will bully a team. That is definitely a game you want to be at 100% for.
Kevin LaSalle, former Windsor Express player, handing the ball off to Jeremy Wise. 5 minutes to go here. Wise off to LaSalle, 3 seconds on the shot clock, and he loses possession to Stutz. Fantastic dribble as he's going to tip it off to Dunn. Blocked! Jeremy Wise!
That was the little man getting up there. Jeremy Wise absolutely says, get that out of my house. Incredible play from Wise. Going back on the other end, though, I know Coach Julius isn't happy about that turnover, and that's probably why LaSalle's coming off right now. That's not his game. He knows better than that. He's actually going straight to the locker room by the looks of it. Not sure what that's about.
Not quite sure. There was no call there, I don't think, so it wasn't like he was ushered off.
There was no foul. He just got subbed off, and I guess maybe he's injured or something. I can't think of why he'd go straight to the room.
Garrett Williamson with possession. 10 seconds on the shot clock. And that's going to be an official's timeout. And they, as you can see, are having a quick chat with the desk there. Again, 4:19 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. So the shot clock's being reset to 8 seconds. London with possession. Maxwell on the inbound. Williamson in motion. So they'll give it off to Jeremy Wise. Shoots it over Zidlinski. Misses it. And it's collected here from Niagara. Zidlinski up against Wise. 4 minutes to go. Tosses it up, and it's good. No call, even though Ziglinski wanted one.
Probably could have been one there. Ziglinski with 21 points is now, after only 10 at the start of the fourth quarter, trying to will his team back in. Will anyone else on the River Lions follow suit, though?
Williamson Off to Maxwell, who tosses it up. It's no good. Postmus can't get the rebound. Maxwell will get his own, and there's a foul. 3:45 on the clock.
Maxwell again going to the line. He hasn't played a whole lot of minutes here, and in fact, he's sitting at 5 fouls. So he's definitely a guy who wants to be a little more timid around the rim. But at 8.7 rebounds, he's been excellent for the London Lightning. A big part of their energy off the bench, too. Him along with Patterson have been little Energizer Bunny coming off the bench.
Maxwell at the line here, 2 shots, 3 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock here. Good offensive performance from the London Lightning so far, 106-97 now. And going 35 for 74, or my apologies, 41 for 82, just hovering around 50% all night in terms of shooting percentage from field goal range, as we see Zielinski collecting that after Postmus tried to keep it in. Springer Williams backing in. Up against Warren Ward, can't get it to go. Postmus with the rebound. Down low over Stutz, and it's good.
Postmus, a guy who really wanted to start getting going, and that'll help. Hasn't really made a lot, but he has been contributing in other ways, including a monster 17 rebounds so far tonight.
Bounce pass to Stutz from distance. The big man can't get it to go. Maxwell collects the rebound for the London Lightning. They've got a 108-97 lead, 2:48 left in this game. Jeremy Wise with it. He's going to take it over Stutz. He was fouled. He's going to take a trip to the line for 3 shots.
He almost had that one, too. It looked pretty good. On the other end, though, you got to give a shout-out to Stephen Maxwell. In another life, he must have been a wide receiver or something, because the way he's able to just grab those jump balls and really bring down the rebounds is impressive.
3 shots coming up here from Jeremy Wise, and I know you're a big fan of Jeremy, and just being a pass-first point guard, I guess, is part of your love affair with him. But talk a bit about what makes Jeremy Wise, I guess, such a special player.
Well, it's no secret that my favorite types of players to watch in NBL or even NBA are point guards, and I love the ones who are able to distribute as equally as they are able to score. And Jeremy Wise is one of those players who can do that. Tonight he has 6 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds for a very solid stat line. The free throws are going to make it now 8 points and potentially a 9th. He's a guy who can be your general. He's a guy that can set the pace. He's a guy that can really make sure the flow of the game is going well. And when the Lightning in the second quarter were getting out of control at times, he was the guy that would slow it down and be like, okay, guys, let's get this under control. Let's get this going. He was a big part of the Lightning staying close in the second and then pulling away in the third.
2:37 on the clock. Zielinski with it.
Sammy Zielinski having probably the best fourth quarter he's had in his career. Just absolutely lighting it up right now.
Warren Ward with that put back off the board. Fantastic play, 113-100. London with the lead, 2:10 rather, on the clock here in the fourth. Zielinski, the ball gets away from him, and now here comes Garrett Williamson. 115-100. 1:56 on the clock in the fourth.
Garrett Williamson at 18 points now, tying his average for his Canadian Player of the Year season.
All underneath here from Stutz, it's no good. Jeremy Wise. Here we go from distance, Warren Ward. Making 31 points for Warren Ward tonight.
it's funny. You look at the field goals and you go, oh, we got a bit of a spill there as Williamson goes for the ball. But it's funny. You look at the field goals of Warren Ward and you see 10 of 21, or pardon me, 10 of 22, 11 of 22, and you go, 50%. That's not a bad night. But then you look at his three-point shooting, 7 of 12 from the three-point line. That'll give him 31 points on the night. Absolutely fantastic night for Warren Ward in his introduction to the London Lightning fans.
1:30 on the clock as you see staff trying to wipe down a bit of a spill there at center. Lightning with an 18-point lead here late. Again, London looking to go up to a record of 1-0 to start the season. Clinton Springer-Williams backed into a corner there, gives it off to Dunn, contested three, and it's good. The River Lions doing a fantastic job.
Beats all of their reserves in points off the bench. Most of the scoring been done. Logan Stutz at 27 points and 11 assists. And then Zaglinski at 24 points. He's also got 8 assists. Pardon me, that was 11 rebounds for Logan Stutz, not assists. And then, of course, Springer-Williams. He had 19 very early in this game, but we haven't seen much of him since.
Posthumous. It's tipped. Collected there by Zaglinski. Great touch from him. And that's going to be finished by Clinton Springer-Williams. The Londoner trying to breathe a bit of life into the London crowd here. Under a minute to go, 118 to 105, and the refs are going to call out of bounds there. We got thrown out there.
It's going to be Niagara ball, though.
Yeah, Niagara ball. My apologies there. I just missed what happened there. Timeout. 118 to 105. London with a sizable lead here at home in their first game of the season. Marty Thompson, Chris Croucher up in the booth. Again, we'll be back with you for that game against Windsor on Tuesday. And if that 98 to 88 game in the preseason against Windsor at home here in London was any indication, that's going to be a great game. Windsor, again, another completely remade team, but a very good team, and you've got some former London Lightning players as well there. Adrian Moss performing well with his new club, so that's going to be an interesting game. Again, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. here.
Well, again, if you look at Adrian Moss, he's actually had a great offseason too, especially when he was with the Windsor Express in their game against the D-League. He had 38 points and almost single-handedly willed the Windsor Express into that win. And if anything sort of tells you about the Windsor Express, they're currently in a 48 to 46 game against the Orangeville A's, and that shows you the type of defense.
Tied 48-48, 8:47 on the clock there again in Windsor. So you can just pop on that live stream after this game is done. Of course, you're going to watch it all the way to the very end. Of course you will.
Just a little bench update. Tyshawn Patterson has ice on his elbow there. I think that'll be his night. We haven't seen him in a while, and we just saw him talking with the trainer, getting iced up. Looks a little bit hurt. Lightning don't really need him at this point, but keep an eye on that for the game tomorrow.
I believe it was Patterson who had a spill there at the top of the key on this left side here. You see the shot coming up from Zaglinski is missed, and it's put back there from Stutz. I believe he did fall down because he was kind of holding his elbow in that sequence. So, yeah, of course, it's a quick turnaround on the bus tomorrow morning there as you see Maxwell taking it to the hoop. Garrett Williamson will finish it instead.
Garrett Williamson is reintroduction to the Lightning fans, 20 points, solid season debut.
120 to 107. Dunn chips it off, and that's Mike Allison, the Hamilton native, finishing that one. So the London Lightning go up to a record of 1-0. And how Niagara dropped their first game of their inaugural season. They'll go down to 0-1, but again, these two teams will meet up 6 p.m. in Niagara tomorrow. A massive moment for Niagara sports fans as see Ward taking that one up with about 4 seconds to go in this game. It's all but said and done as the refs will let that one go. Capers drains it at the end. So that'll just about do it here at Budweiser Gardens. Chris, your thoughts on the first game of this
defense. Actually, I should say a lot sloppy defense. But so the River Lions, they got away with it. But on the offensive end, it definitely has to be promising for the London Lightning. They were able to get pretty much everything they wanted to accomplish. I really like the look of their players, and just think of what's going to happen with this team when they get Chad Postumus going. Because Chad Postumus from off-season, from his time in Mississauga, to what we saw in that preseason game against the Windsor Express, we know he's going to be a big part. And if they can win with only 14 points from Postumus, mind you, with 18 rebounds, that's a big help. Some of the leading stat getters for both teams, you got 31 points from Warren Ward on 7 of 12 three-point shooting, 22 points for Tyshawn Patterson, 14 points, 18 rebounds from Chad Postumus, and Garrett Williamson with 20 points. Looking at Niagara, you've got 29 points, 12 rebounds from Logan Stutz for the double-double in his debut. Same as Zaglinski with an excellent fourth quarter, 24 points, 9 assists, and Clinton Springer-Williams on his homecoming, 21 points.
Absolutely. Well, I think that'll just about wrap us up here, Chris. So for Chris and everyone here in the crew and myself, thank you very much for tuning in tonight. Both these teams heading off to Niagara tomorrow for a 6 p.m. start. Final score, London Lightning 122, Niagara River Lions 109.